Hello, it's Mechanic Dan with Runyon Surface Prep, and today we're going to go over the HTC 500 package here. Here we have the 3600, the S36, and the HTC 500, the 25-inch grinder. Now this makes a good pair because they're somewhat smaller, and these are easier to get into smaller places than the larger 32-inch. Whether you go with the electric or the propane, it's just much smaller and easier to maneuver around. Good for smaller spaces. All right, let's start off with the S36. This S36 has 3 motors in it, 3600 watt. It also has, what is really convenient, they put a 50 amp plug on here. This is 220. Both these units are 220, 240 volt. The good thing is they supply the vacuum with 50 amp plug, a 50 amp service to run both these. It also has a pass-through, which is a 32 amp, 240 volt plug. So you don't have to have 2 plugs, 2 cables and everything. All you do is run your grinder into your vacuum and plug in your 50 amp, 250 volt, 240 volt here, and it powers both units. Really convenient. All right, so the 3600 watt, this vacuum will pull around 16 amps, something like that, a little bit more. And the grinder itself is rated at 16 amps. So there you got about 32, almost 40 amp with full load and everything. So it's a good thing. Make sure you have a good 50 amp service. All right, this is just similar to the smaller S2s, only it's got an extra motor, the S36. So we have 3 vacuum motors, each of them about 700 watt, depending on what motors they put in them. They combine to make 3600 watt. So just remember, you can change around your wattages on that, but with this one, just go ahead and stick with what you have. So you're going to do this just like you do every other vacuum we have, the S2, the S26, the 36. As you're using it, be sure, plug this off every once in a while, running, and purge it. Purge it several times to help clean that filter. Get all that dust down into the dust bag. Purge it quite often. Every 7-8 minutes, the more the merrier. Pull this back out, put your hose back in, and you're good to go. So this will connect there. Both these run well together. All right, so you have your S36, your vacuum, you have it all up and going and everything. You're plugged in your 500 to the bypass to that 32 amp. Everything's running good there. Let's run over to the 500, the HTC 500, 25-inch wide. European does a little bit different. If you look at the nameplate, it doesn't say it's a 240 volt. It actually says 215, which is technically what our single phase 220 is. It's 115 leg, 115 leg to get us our 240, 230 volt legs, but they just name it really different. So this is a 4 kW motor. It's actually a 5 kW drive on there. They upsize the drive because it's actually a 3-phase motor and you're actually powering it with single phase. So you have to upsize your drive just for the power. So when it comes to tooling on this, be sure and talk to one of our qualified specialists here to get the right kind of tooling and right grit and everything for your job. Really easy to do. It's tooling's really easy to snap off, snap on, get it all ready. Once you plugged it all in, get your vacuum hooked up and everything, you're all good to go. Be careful not to add weight to here or you will overload it. You will have weights come with it that are just the right amount of weights for the load, for the amperage, for what you're going to be using. A lot of people have a tendency to want to grind a little deeper, a little harder, get more done quicker and put more weight on it. And this inevitably will blow a breaker or cook a drive. I'm going to show you where the breaker's at. If you ever do this and it does trip on you, the only thing you need to mess with in here is a breaker, and it's pretty easy. Just get in here. Don't worry about the drive. Don't worry about anything. You'll see a breaker right up in here. And unfortunately with Europeans, if you see green, that's bad. That's stop. Red is go. So you'll get used to it. But yep, that's the only thing you should have to worry about in that box if you do happen to overload it and trip a breaker. So yep, this is really simple. It's just 50 amp service supplying both of them. This will pull about 1620 amp. That'll pull about 1620 amp. It should be good. If you have any questions, just give us a call here at Runyon Surface Prep. This has been Mechanic Dan. Thank you.